Next story.
nytimes.com. Hitler had rare micropenis disorder. Trump connection speculated. Estelle Cast.
4 minutes.
A recent genetic analysis of relics attributed to Adolf Hitler has identified a rare genetic disorder that can result in stunted sexual development and a reduced sense of smell, according to a paper published today in the European Journal of Clinical Genetics. The finding has ignited a fierce debate after several physiologists and psychologists suggested the condition may have fueled the compensatory megalomania that defined the Nazi dictator.
More provocatively, these speculations have extended to contemporary politics, with a handful of commentators drawing a tentative line to the behavior and suspected physiology of US President Donald J. Trump.
The research centered on bloodstains preserved on a sofa fragment recovered from the Führer bunker in Berlin, where Hitler committed suicide in 1945. A team from the University of Heidelberg, conducting what they described as a strictly historical genetic inquiry, sequenced DNA from the samples and identified markers strongly associated with Kallmann syndrome.
Kallmann syndrome is a rare genetic condition that delays or prevents puberty and is often linked to an impaired or absent sense of smell. Anosmia, a common, though not universal, physical manifestation in males is micropenis.
This is a purely biological finding, stated lead researcher Dr. Klaus Fischer, who emphasized he was not a psychologist. We can now say with a high degree of confidence that Hitler had this syndrome. Why that might be historically significant is for others to interpret.
That interpretation was swift to arrive. A physiologist, who spoke to the New York Times while donning the cowl of anonymous coward due to the inflammatory nature of the topic, connected the dots between the syndrome's physical effects and the psychological profile of history's ultimate monster.
It would explain a great deal, the physiologist said. The compensatory megalomania, the pathological need for dominance and absolute control, these can be understood as a profound overcorrection for a deep-seated physical inadequacy. The small penis is not the cause of the evil, but it may have been the engine of the rage and narcissism that fueled it.
The anonymous source then extended this hypothesis to Mr. Trump. The small hands, the narcissism, the pathological line to the point of seeming psychosis. All these traits could have a single underlying cause. Some have speculated that Trump would end as a more Queeg-like tragic figure than a strong man. If he is indeed a Kallmann sufferer, then I, for one, feel some small sympathy for him.
It would even explain why he likes his steaks so overcooked. The physiologist continued. He might only be able to smell the meat if it is broiled until it is nearly carbonized.
The suggestion was immediately condemned across the political spectrum.
This is the worst kind of armchair psychoanalysis, mixed with the most vile and personal form of political attack, said Jason Miller, a senior advisor to Mr. Trump. It is disgusting, false, and beneath the standards of any legitimate publication. President Trump is a strong, healthy man in every respect, with a penis like you have never seen, and to suggest otherwise is a lie propagated by the same fake news media that has been attacking him for years.
Democratic leaders were also critical, though for different reasons. Engaging in speculative and derogatory physical diagnosis is a dangerous road to go down, regardless of the target, cackled a senior Democratic strategist who donned the cowl of anonymous coward to speak candidly. Our criticisms of Donald Trump are based on his actions, his policies, and his demonstrable lies, not unverified medical speculation. This distracts from substantive issues.
Media commentators were divided. On Fox News, host Sean Hannity called the story a new low for the deranged left. Meanwhile, on social media, the theory gained traction, with some users reposting old photographs of Mr. Trump and noting his repeated, unprompted assertions about the size of his hands.
Look, it's a taboo subject, but the link between profound narcissism and physical insecurity is a well-established principle in clinical psychology, said Dr. Gunter Pirelli, a professor of psychology at UC Berkeley who has no connection to the original study. Whether this specific syndrome applies to anyone else is pure, unscientific conjecture, but the underlying dynamic, that a person might build a grotesque, public persona to overcompensate for a private shame, is a tale as old as time. We see it in bullies, in tyrants, and, yes, sometimes in politicians.